Alright, welcome back to the Algebra channel. Our problem for today is to solve for C in the equation 12 minus C equals negative 9. To solve this problem first, our objective is to manipulate the equation so that the unknown variable is on one side of the equation while the known values are on the other side of the equation. In this case here you have C as the unknown variable and the known values are 12 and 9, and don't forget our algebraic properties here on the left. Okay, let's proceed and analyze this problem. Okay, we can solve this problem using our transposition shortcut method, and you can solve this obviously using the standard method of adding and subtraction or subtracting or multiplying and dividing to both sides of the equation until you manipulate the equation so that the unknown variable is on the left hand side, either the left hand side or the right hand side. As long as it is on one side, it is on one side of the equation while the known values are on the other. Okay, so let's just try to solve the standard way of doing it. So you have here minus C, right? Minus C. So if you eliminate the 12 here by subtracting 12 from this entire left hand side of the equation, then you also subtract 12 from the entire right hand side of the equation. Okay, and then you'll be left later on with negative C. Then the negative C, to make it a positive C, you multiply it by negative 1, so multiply by negative 1. Then you also do the same for the right hand side of the equation, you also multiply by negative 1, so dot multiply. So whatever you do on the left hand side of the equation, you also do to the right hand side of the equation. And again, we can solve this using our transposition trick, and that it would be easy. So we'll do it both ways. We solve it first using the standard way of doing it, which is applying the operations on both sides of the equation, and then later on we also solve this using transposition method, you know, that kind of a shortcut that we have learned earlier. So now that the board is clean, what we do is the first step is to add or to subtract 12 from both sides of the equation. So this is 12 minus C minus 12. Don't forget the parentheses here. See, it will be easy for you to simplify the equation. Equals negative 9 minus 12. Okay, and so simplifying this one, you have minus C equals, because remember this 12 here minus this 12 here, that becomes 0, so you'll be left only with minus C. Okay, so I hope that's very clear. On the other side of the equation, you have minus 9 minus 12. Of course, yeah, if we had to solve this using a standard method for the integers, it will be very long, but there are two negative operations there, negative 9 and negative 12, so you just simply take the sum of the two, and then because they have the same signs, negative negative, you add, take the sum of the two, and then you carry or you use the negative number. So this is 12, this is 21, is it? Okay, so this is minus 21, sorry, so that is 21, correct? And therefore negative C equals minus 31. So what do you do here? This is a negative C, this is a negative C, so you multiply negative 1 to both sides, So negative c times negative 1 equals minus 21 times negative 1. So negative c times 1, that is positive c, because you're multiplying two numbers with the same sign, so you will have a positive product. And here you multiply, so that's also negative 21 times negative 1, it's a positive number, which is 21. So our solution is c equals 21. That's our answer. Now, as I said earlier, we're going to solve this using the transposition method, and then we'll do a cross-checking with our answers correct. I hope we didn't make any mistake here. So that's okay. Let's clean up the board. Okay, so now we're going to use the transposition method. In the transposition method, in this case here, alright, so we're going to isolate c. So this is a minus c. If we transpose this to the other side of the equation, then that becomes a positive c. And then if we also transpose this to the other side of the equation, this becomes a positive 9. Again, in the transposition, the inverse operation is being done or being applied to the number once you cross the equation sign, the left hand side and the right hand side. So in this case here, 12 minus c equals negative 9. We transpose, so 12 plus 9 equals c, because we transpose the 9 and we transpose the c. So in this case, 21 equals c, and that is our answer. I would say, oh, the transposition method is very fast. Yes, it is very fast, but make sure that you use a parenthesis here, or whenever you transpose or whenever you do operation, don't forget the parenthesis, because if there's a division, or if there is a multiplication, or there is an addition, subtraction of terms, because we applied it to the entire left hand side, the right hand side, make sure you enclose the left hand side with a parenthesis and the right hand side with a parenthesis, so that you will not be confused later on. So is it easy, the transposition method? That's very easy, right? So you can do that as you progress, but and we're showing here because we expect you to be the weakest in class. We're showing here both methods, the transposition method and the standard method, the step-by-step method, because we don't want you to lose sight of the reason why we have the transposition method. Transposition method is simply the net effect of applying both operations, applying operations on both sides of the equation. Okay, now we have the answer already, but we need to check as part of our standard procedure. We do some checking. Alright, so let's do the cross-checking. Let's do the check. The check is the checking process is just simply substituting the value of c into the original equation and then trying to prove whether or not the equation is maintained. Okay, so let's proceed now. So it's 12 minus c. What is c? 21 equals negative 9. Is it equal to negative 9? 12 minus 21 is negative 9. Is that equal to negative 9? Equal. So therefore, we have done the cross-checking. So we have solved the problems now. We have solved it in two ways, using the standard method and the transposition method, and we have checked our answers. 12 minus 21 equals negative 1. Thank you, and please ask your neighbors, your friends, your parents, your teachers, bring them to our channel. We are going to help everybody here, so let us do the tutorial for you, okay, the tutoring for you. Thank you, and see you in our next problem.